Welcome to QuickCoach, the training library for WorldVentures reps on the go. Let's talk about sharing your success story. Congratulations, you've been picked to share your testimony, or what we call a success story, at an event or on a conference call. Before we share the parts you need to create your story, here's a reminder of what a success story is not. This is not the time to represent, resell, give training tips, or try and close the room by telling them to join. Facts tell, but stories sell. That's because they're authentic and make a connection. Sharing dream trips experiences, if you're a member, and having solid rep success stories is probably more important than the presentation. When our friends hear from people they can relate to, it'll help them feel more comfortable to get started. And hearing multiple stories validates everything they're seeing. Okay, grab a pen and paper. It's best if you can write your story down and say it a few times. Now, our objective is to share a large variety of stories so that we can showcase as many benefits and results as possible. But people will naturally lose attention if this takes too long or if there's a lot of repetition. So, it's critical that you share your story in 30 seconds. That's 30 seconds or less. Any longer, and you may not be asked to share again. And secondly, if the stories before you sound the same, shifting to highlight a different aspect of your unique story will have a greater impact. So you'll want to practice a few options. There are 5 parts to a powerful testimony: your full name, where you're from, what you do or did before WorldVentures, what your objection or problem was, and your measurable results. Let's break this down. In the first 4 parts, you'll be talking about your situation before WorldVentures. This is how you relate to the audience. You'll want to state your full name, where you're from, what you do. This is what you did before WorldVentures. So that could include your education level, your job or career, your family situation, are you married, you have kids, etc. Then, part 4, say what your objection or problem was when you were introduced to WorldVentures. So if it was related to vacationing, it might be something like, I always wanted to travel, but I never thought I could afford it. Or maybe it addressed the opportunity. My income dropped and the bills kept stacking up. Or I was skeptical, but I trusted my friend. Or I was a little nervous because I'd never done something like this before. Basically, any challenge that you overcame while getting started or a problem that you thought this would help solve. Next, to transition from part 4 to part 5, you want to state that you got started. This is where we're indirectly telling how to get started with WorldVentures. It's okay that almost everyone's transition will be the same. That's common. So I joined WorldVentures and plugged into the training. Or if you have the product, talk about being a Dream Trips member. So I became a Dream Trips member and took a dream trip. Lastly, part 5, your measurable results. Now, we've noticed that sometimes people think their stories aren't impressive enough. But it's actually the smaller and more recent stories that have the greatest impact. Your truth is good enough. There's no need to exaggerate or embellish. We only want people to become a customer, a rep, or both if it's right for them. So we aren't trying to impress them, especially by sharing your income. You never know how it will be received. Instead, your story should be your actual results and represent the amount of time and energy you put into your WorldVentures business. And remember, anytime we're presenting our business or sharing success stories, we must hand out the income disclosure statement, which can be found at worldventures.biz. Follow the IDS usage guidelines found in your back office. Side note, you can never talk about anyone else's income, even if the income disclosure statement has been handed out. If you have the product, some great topics would be how amazing your dream trip was, or some daily local savings you've experienced. And on the business side, you can mention some achievements or training results like, after applying what I learned from the trainings and putting in the work, I now have 4 active customers and WorldVentures is thanking me by waiving my monthly fees. Or if you've reached a significant achievement like qualifying for your wheels, or a lifestyle story like, I now have more time to spend with my kids. Then wrap it up with gratitude by saying something like, thanks, or thank you WorldVentures, or I'm so glad my friend introduced me to WorldVentures. Stick to the 5 key points and you'll have it in 30 seconds or less with no problem. And of course, smile. Quick recap: your full name, where you're from, what you do or did before WorldVentures, what your objection or problem was, and your measurable results. So there you go. Practice your success story a few times to yourself and make sure you have fun and smile while you're sharing it. You'll do great. Now, get back in the game. Thanks for watching QuickCoach, your go-to solution when you need help fast. To access our complete library of in-depth audio and video trainings, be sure to get the WorldVentures Advantage. But for the absolute best training WorldVentures has to offer, make sure you reserve your seat at the next live training event. And next time you need a quick tip before you call your mentor, check out QuickCoach.